Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, a towering figure in the fight against apartheid, was born on July 18, 1918 in the rural village of Mvezo in Transkei, South Africa. His father, Henry Mpakanswa, was a chief of the Tembu tribe, and his mother, Nosekeni Fani, was the third of the Mpakansiwa's 4 wives. Growing up in the Tembu royal family, Mandela learned about leadership and diplomacy from an early age, observing his father's role in tribal governance and dispute resolution. Mandela's pursuit of education took him to the University College of Fort Hare, where he studied law, and later to the University of Witwatersrand. It was during his time at these institutions that Mandela became increasingly aware of the injustice perpetrated against black South Africans under the apartheid regime. Inspired by the principles of equality and justice, Mandela became actively involved in political activism, joining the African National Congress in 1944. The post-1948 era marked a turning point in Mandela's life, as he found himself at the forefront of resistance against the National Party's apartheid policies. The apartheid system enforced racial segregation and discrimination, relegating black South Africans to inferior status and depriving them of basic human rights. Mandela's commitment to fighting against these injustices led him to participate in various acts of civil disobedience and non-violent protest. In 1956, Mandela faced trial for treason alongside other ANC leaders accused of plotting to overthrow the apartheid government. Despite the trial lasting for 5 years, Mandela and his co-defendants were ultimately acquitted, a testament to the resilience of their cause and the strength of their legal defense. The banning of the ANC in 1960 marked a dark period in the South African history, as the government intensified its crackdown on anti-apartheid activists. Undeterred by the prohibition of the organization, Mandela and other ANC leaders explored alternative means of resistance, including the formation of a military wing within the ANC. The decision resulted in the establishment of Nkoto Wezikwe, the armed wing of the ANC dedicated to carrying out acts of sabotage against government infrastructure. Mandela's involvement in the armed struggle against apartheid led to his arrest in 1962 and subsequent conviction on charges of incitement to violence and sabotage. He was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment with hard labor, marking the beginning of his long incarceration. However, Mandela's imprisonment only served to elevate his status as a symbol of resistance and resilience, both within South Africa and on the national stage. In 1963, Mandela faced trial again, this time alongside other ANC leaders, on charges of sabotage and conspiracy to overthrow the government. Despite facing the possibility of the death penalty, Mandela remained steadfast in his commitment to anti-apartheid cause, delivering a stirring speech from the dock that captured the attention of the world. On June 12, 1964, Mandela and 7 co-accused were sentenced to life imprisonment, a verdict that sent shockwaves throughout the world. Mandela's imprisonment spanned nearly 3 decades, during which he endured harsh conditions and solitary confinement. Despite the hardships he faced, Mandela remained resolute in his determination to see an end to apartheid and the establishment of a democratic South Africa. During his years in prison, Mandela's reputation as a leader and statesman continued to grow. He became a potent symbol of resistance, inspiring a new generation of activists both within South Africa and the world. Mandela's steadfast refusal to compromise his principles or renounce his commitment to freedom and equality earned him the respect and admiration of millions. Mandela's release on February 11, 1990 marked a new chapter in South Africa's history as the country embarked on a path towards reconciliation and democracy. Mandela wasted no time in immersing himself in the struggle for freedom and justice, working tirelessly to unite a divided nation and build a future based on equality and respect for human rights. In 1991, Mandela was elected president of the ANC at the organization's first national conference, held within South Africa since its banning in 1960. Alongside his longtime friend Oliver Tambo, Mandela led the ANC in its mission to dismantle apartheid and lay the foundations for a democratic South Africa. Mandela's presidency, which began in 1994 following the country's first democratic elections, was characterized by a commitment to reconciliation and nation building. Despite the challenges posed by decades of apartheid rule, Mandela worked tirelessly to bridge the racial divide and build a society based on the principles of equality and justice for all. Throughout his life, Nelson Mandela remained a beacon of hope and inspiration, demonstrating the power of forgiveness, reconciliation, and perseverance in the face of adversity. His legacy continues to resonate around the world, serving as a reminder of the importance of standing up for what is right and just, even in the darkest times.